Good day, Nyasia, and welcome to your chart reading. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this freaking panel because it is hideous and I hate it. Hi, welcome, and thank you for your patience. So today we are getting into this cookie pie pizza compass chart thing, which is the script for your life as Nyasia, because Nyasia has been many different names, races, religions, genders, even things from plant to animal over the course of hundreds or even thousands of years as our souls left God to come here to find out what we can really be. You were originally a ball of light that wanted to turn into a thing so that you could dirty up this light and clean it again so you shine brighter. That is the easy version of this. So, with that being said, this is the blueprint. This is the setup for what you have done in the other lives, what you need to accomplish in this life, what challenges you still have left over, and what gifts you have to make it happen for you in this life. And that is what I'm going to be breaking down for you, your design. So, for starters, you have a path, right? That's what you came to do this life, what you'll be doing from the beginning of till the end, like what you want to learn, what skill do you want to embrace, what traits, what quality, right? And for you, it's the path of the Cancer. This is about family, about femininity, connecting to other women, healing your family. Also could be the case here, which looks like it's going to be that case because I see something here that stands out. But focusing on the path right now, the path of the Cancer. It's about wearing your emotions on your sleeve, absorbing the emotions of other people so that you can be like a filter. Not an easy thing to take because you're like water based. This means you are constantly channeling and picking up other people's energy, just you being you, because you wanted to know what it was like to feel. You wanted to learn about feelings and that through the human experience. So that's fun, right? Now, on this path, you have a backlight, which shows what you've already done, what you know so well that you only needed a refresher in this life to remind you of why you don't want to do that shit anymore, right? So for you, that's your South Node in the fourth in Libra. The funny thing about this is Cancer. So family comes up again. You are healing your family wound. Something regarding the part which is backed up by this Virgo energy. Virgo is the healing energy, right? But with it being in Libra for your South Node, you're healing a particular partnership or the values surrounding partnership in your family, relationship karma, right? So the first time this would have came around for you to step into or step out of, if you will, would have been around 19. So just think about whatever was happening in your life then. It was meant to pivot you towards your goal, which is setting a foundation for partnership, right? But then skyrocketing to independence through your career, finally getting to see your worth out in the world, being an authority figure or a pioneer, somebody known for your athleticism, your thoughts, just yourself. You are your brand, is what this is giving me. And that is the flashlight that you are moving towards, the light that is leading you away from the past patterns that have kept you inevitably in some way stuck in a partnership with your twin where you don't get to shine as an individual, is what's coming out here. So now that we know those two main points, right? I'm going to go around the rest of the chart to break down you to you. I'm like reading the script for your character. Like you signed up for a role and you just want to know what you're doing in the movie. That's what we're doing here. So hopefully that'll make it like cooler. It's like you're this person now, but like you've been many other people. So you just need a refresher so you can play this character. Like, what is your motivation? Right? So let's get started with this first house. This is the first house of self, right? Who you are to other people, how you appear to other people. This is about your ego, your physical body. So soft comes up first, very feminine, very dainty. You might have a circular face because it's in Cancer, but also sensitive. People see you as somebody motherly. You might get people who always come to you for advice and stuff with this here, because keep in mind, all of this is your radio energy. Imagine your body as a human radio. We are made up of protons, neutrons, molecules, atoms, condensed matter, right? We are static that is just drawn to each other because of the way the light hits us. So, with that being said, when somebody comes near your bubble, they pick up on the fact that you're somebody who's nurturing. So, they immediately are drawn to you. Your energy is who your energy is or what your energy is, despite how you feel about yourself. It's just the way that you cause a reaction in other people's and you strike or target cancers, people who need healing, caring, and then people who want to care for you also, just in your natural energy. Now, And the second house is the house of your values. Not only what you value for yourself, what you want to keep for yourself, like what you spend your money on, but how you earn money for yourself and the gifts that have sort of rolled over from the past life in order for you to earn that for yourself in this life. So this is your money house. How do you make money? How do you take your person, your human, and you earn stuff for yourself? For you, you have Lilith in the second, and that's always spicy because that means sugar baby popped in my head. Like that would be a possibility. But keep in mind, this could be the gifts that you have from the past life. So there is something about your dark femininity, because that's what Lilith is, your sexuality, the part of you that other people try to repress and tame and you just won't let it be, right? It's in your sensitive energy as a female. Keep in mind, this is also a millionaire degree too. So something about your physical appearance draws you money. And it's at the 29th degree. This is the critical degree, the final degree. Now, things you have to watch out for this Lilith. I don't know if it pertains to work, but just not being emotionally manipulative. Like that's what you gain professionally over time. Probably from being in a relationship with a guy who always was older and had more money than you. You learned how to be Anna Nicole. So that's what that Lilith is there. But in this case, you can use your femme fatale powers to help empower other women, to help them step into their strength. There are a lot of women who are afraid of their femininity. That is not the problem you have, ma'am. On the other side of that, because you have two energies here, is this Leo. This means the way that you uniquely express yourself, your creativity, who you are when you're alone and in your bag, in your shit, your childlike innocence, like the things you used to enjoy as a child. This is also actual literal things like art, being on stage, you being a motivational speaker, entertainer, being an actor, being on stage, using your uniqueness to earn you money. Now, this Leo energy of self, freedom, um, unique self, like this is the things that makes you you, nobody else can do this but you, leads into the third house. The third house is all about communication, not only the way that you mentally connect with other people, but the way that your mind works in general. And for you, you are an entertainer, you're a comic, you're hilarious, because your Mercury, which is the way that you express yourself, is in Leo. So you inspire other people first and foremost, but you inspire through humor, you inspire through your own tales, and experiences. Right next to that, we have your Venus. So your mind is your money, because Venus rules the second house, and your Mercury rules your mind, which is the ruler of the third house. So your mind is right in place for you to take this to inspire other people. Like this is you writing the Harry Potter franchise. Like that is what this is giving me. You could write something amazing that changed people's life. Look at the stellium. You have 22 degrees right next to 23 degrees, right next to 24 degrees, right? That means all these energies are piled on top of each other. That's Queen. Okay? Queen. I just gave you my Nicki Minaj. Back to back to back. So you are your brand, like I was saying, and I didn't even see this first. And you see this triangle pointing so hard here, right? Like hard. You are your brand, sharing your mind, putting yourself out there, connecting in the community, because your drive right here in Leo 2, this is a stellium. This is a concentration of energy meant to convey a certain thing. So beauty, art, helping other people with their finances through the use of what you have done to make your life so successful is what's coming up here. You're going to be talking a lot, and it's going to be about healing, because this Virgo is at the end. You're going to take your experience in healing and making your life what you want it to be and help other people do that for themselves through your journey. So right here we have the beginning of your fourth house. The fourth house is about family, like epigenetics, like your generational stuff, right? Also the family you grew up with, and then who you are at the core. So you need to know that at your core, you are a healer, you are a Virgo, you are of service. You came here to do this for your family line, and that is your sprinkle of luck because you volunteered for this mission here. Your family is your point of luck, like your backboard in some way, shape, or form. Your home, or the roots you came from and the gifts that they passed on to you are always going to be like in your back pocket. And these are physical gifts of healing. Like you might have what is known as like the growing hand. Like you'd be good with growing vegetables, healing animals, healing people physically. If you were in the medical field, you would have been amazing just because you have those gifts that are passed on from people that came before you. Now over here during the second second part of your life, which is this Libra here. This is heavily connected to a relationship that you wanted another chance at once you established your career in a certain fashion where you felt like you'd be in the partnership, but you still have your individuality and you wouldn't just blend into or be under the thumb of your dude's money because he's always sort of strong and extra masculine here. So the second part of your life, or the household that you're meant to have with your partner, is all about like being bougie, bad and bougie. Is what came up here. This is about fine wine, art, architecture, playing the piano, painting, riding horses. Like this is premium life in the second part here, right? So this Libra energy of balance, and keep in mind, this is balancing your karma, goes into the fifth house. This is the leader of the Leo energy, most of what you have in your core energies, your opening planets, right? So with that being said, this is the house of things that make you unique. So if you were a painter or you were a writer, because writing comes up too, like I said, if you were to write a book, it would be like the Harry Potter franchise. Whatever you do is meant to slap hard. So with that being said, you sharing your artistry is a part of your self-expression. You have a certain eloquence that you put on the things that you do. With that, it's connected to your Pluto, right? Pluto's in Scorpio. You have the power to transform things with your femme fatale energy, which keeps coming up here, your feminine. But also, when you put your mind towards something, when you take the fuel of the pain that you have endured in this life and start pushing towards it, it enhances your self-expression. I know that's so weird, right? But it is like when you look over everything you've been through, it amps you to want to tell other people like you can do whatever you want to. So your pain is your power and your self-expression. The things that you have kept to yourself from your childhood, it feels like the things that you have not shared with anybody, the secrets that you keep to yourself, the things that you research, that is your unique genius. That's what Palace is. Palace is your ability to solve problems in a super unique way to you. You understand trauma, you understand healing, you understand if somebody comes to you and they've been hurt by something, you pick up on something being off in their frequency and you can tell them what they need in order to make that better for themselves. You are exposer of shadows, if you will. You heal shadows. And that is what you would do through your inspiration and talking to people. Now, this Scorpio energy goes into the sixth house, which is important because we're trying to figure out what you're doing in your career, because your career is the main mark you're hitting in this life with your North Node intent. You are bound by your contract in this life, and your contract is in this volunteer house, right? The sixth house of your day-to-day activities, what you are doing to pay back your karmic debt, what you do on a day-to-day basis to be of service, to keep your body functioning, right? Because you can come here with a mission, and if you don't do what you're supposed to with your sixth house, the sixth house controls your health. So when you get off your mission, your health starts to go, right? So your sixth house starts with Scorpio, which means that you are like secret stealth phoenix healer, right? But then here is the Sagittarius. This is the optimist, the person who takes shit and turns it into sugar. That is what you are contracted to. Making a difference, coming up with some sort of philosophy that you can share online that reaches people overseas. Now, series right here is what you need for healing, which is optimism, somebody who inspires you, right? But it's what you have the gift of giving to others with this connection here. So there's an emotional tether you have to what you need from healing. Like you need to understand your trauma sometimes, or the things coming through you, and then you can make a way of explaining it. Like you always find a silver lining is what this feels like. And it's like your gift that you are giving out in your day-to-day basis, because this is your work right here, what you do for a living. So over here we have Uranus. Uranus is where you get your lightning fast insights, where you get a ping. You know what to say all the time if you just go off your emotions. You are being fed information as you walk around, because your moon, which is connected to this Cancer, which is connected to your South Node, you already know how to do this. You just have to listen to yourself. Now, the next thing over here we have is your Neptune. Neptune is like the place where karma is dropped off in your chart, right? It takes all that stuff from the 12th house, all the accumulation of everything that you've done during your other times here, and then pays it back. For you, you'll get your old husband back, right? But it comes through in your business. You will get everything that is due to you in your business. And this is a fame degree, 5 degrees. It's temporary. Like you get to rise to the top for a while, create a legacy for yourself, and then you get to disappear back into your home and be comfortable like you want to. So it's a good combination of you just disappearing with your money like a good Grinch in some ways. So with that being said, we are at your seventh house. This is the house of partnerships. This is what lets me know you have an older partner that's meant to be with you this life, or somebody who invests in you, or somebody who makes money with you. Like you can have a family business with this, absolutely. Uh, Also, that you'll be known in the public eye as an entrepreneur. Now, you don't have any planets here. Don't worry about these places where you don't have planets. It just means that you've already conquered this energy and you are just focused on, I'm sorry, you already conquered this house and you're just focused on embracing the energy of that house. Now, I want to go back to your contract, right? Saturn. Your contract is in being a philosopher on a day to day basis, touching people with your belief system, particularly those in a foreign land, somewhere not near you, which can be done through the internet, is what I'm saying here. A lot of your stuff is done through the internet or just through the people that you connect to in the community. But Saturn is the thing you have to accomplish, but also the reward you receive for what you do. So with your Saturn, you do this job, and then the Capricorn energy, you get back your partner, and then you get to rise to where you want to in your career. Not particularly in that order, but they're just letting you know that your contract is connected to your marriage, is connected to your career in this life, is connected to you making a difference to other people in foreign lands. So your eighth house, with your eighth house starting in Capricorn, because this is the Scorpio house, right? Sex, death, taxes, rebirth, like when you feel like you died inside and then you came back as a new person, traumas, actual life and death stuff like morgues, right? Black magic, just all the taboo stuff, taxes, inheritances. That is Scorpio. Earning money through not actually having to physically do anything, like people paying you back a debt. Now, for you, you don't have any planets here, which is awesome for you. But because of this setup, you're going to make money off of, like I said earlier, helping people with trauma online, because Aquarius is in charge of the internet. Now, on a personal level, this means you like being in charge of the bedroom, but in the future, there will be a chance that you're into trying new things that don't just have you in power when this person who comes along is a little bit more dom than you. So over here, this Aquarius energy of the internet connecting to the collective, what communities you belong to. This is the ninth house. The ninth house, the Sagittarius belt. So this is about luck, growth, expansion, foreign lands, spiritual gurus, not only the ones you follow, but possibly you becoming one, your belief system, everything that you have learned outside of where you grew up, right? This is where you're going to be sharing all this information about what you have learned about yourself through these mediums, because this Aquarius is right here, but then Pisces is over here, which means that you are doing this for karma, but also because as a belief system, you understand strange things and you understand that anything is possible. And that's part of what you'll be known for. With you having your MC, which is the peak of this life for you, the highlight, like the main goal, the midheaven is what it's called. So your idea of heaven on earth is being known as somebody who is empathetic, somebody who is spiritual, somebody who is talented, somebody who has an aura of like, around them. This could also be a musician, an artist, a poet, a filmmaker. Telling you, J.K. Rowling, girl. I think she is a Leo too. I'm being led somewhere. Hold on. That's why it takes so long to do these damn readings, because I swear I come in here and I'm just here to read the chart, but spirit be like, I run across a lot of important people, which is like a blessing. But I get pulled off on tangents of what this person is supposed to be doing. J.K. Rowling. Up, look at that. July 31st, 1965. A Leo. Interesting. I'm going to suggest right now that you look into J.K. Rowling's story, her like her bio, but then also like her chart, because there's something about this energy here. Like you might not even start off thinking you're going to write a story, but along the way you come across with this lovely story about a little girl and magic and shit. Like it could be amazing, especially now where magic is on the rise. So, anyways, you'll be known for something mystical and out of this world, like giving of yourself karmically. And we'll get more into this specifically in your 12th house, because the 12th house rules Pisces energy and you being a business person. So we're back around to your North Node in Aries, which is you being known for being yourself, being an authority figure for being yourself, right? This Aries energy of self goes into the 11th house. This is about your wishes and dreams, right? But also the groups you belong to, the soul tribe. Like if you had fans on the internet, this would be the house of them. You have a kick-ass setup, because here we go, that 29th degree again, right? And I want you to look into, because here we are again, look into stuff, Aisha, let her know. That's what I'm getting. Fame, markers in astrology. Now I'm doing my search here so you can see it. 29 degrees. Is this the right one? Because there are two main things I go to for every time I'm here to show information. First off, your 10th house planet. You have your north node there. That's where you're meant to go. And here we go. Fame degrees are 5, 17, and 29. And also Leo degrees. You have the Leo degrees. Off top, you have Leo, period. But you have these extra backups. That 29, that's balling. So when you get the chance to look in fame and astrology, I made it my obsession because I also have my north node in 10th. You have it at, or I'm sorry, you have it in your 11th house. This means there is a certain soul tribe or group of people that will just fall into line once you start sharing yourself in the world. Jupiter is growth, expansion, and it rules this 9th house. So your fans are going to be from all over the place. Now, at this moment, I would like to show you this. This also means you have aggressive fans, by the way. Aggressive, like people who are like the beehive and whatever Nicki Minaj calls our fans, the barbs. Yeah, your fans are just going to be like, and it'll keep growing. So you see this peak of this triangle, because not everybody has this triangle. That means the energy from who you are, all of this over here, that stellium of concentration I was telling you about, that Leo stuff, is connected to the radical change that'll take place. Oh, this Uranus is ruled by Aquarius, connected to your 11th house. So yes, as soon as you start connecting with that Leo energy within yourself, it's going to trigger all the Aquarius stuff. So it's going to go ping, share yourself, radical change online, find my soul tribe, and then boom, blow up. And just because I'm being guided all over the place now, transits are how the current planets are affecting your natal planets, right? You see over here, this is the north node. This is the developer of the chart. Like if this was a dark room and this was a photo, this thing right here makes the photo unveil itself. It is moving this way. It's the one that goes backwards. Everything else goes this way. So soon, your north node, within the next couple of months, because this hits over here next year, is in a position for you to start developing, or that fan base to start growing. When it triggers this, and it's probably already building, because this is, keep in mind, these are frequencies. Everything is going over time. You are being pushed. Right now, you're being given the drive in your sleep. I can imagine you having a hard time sleeping for something you need to write, something you need to say, something you need to do. But that's all connected to this expansion. Like this is your season right now. Ooh, so this Taurus energy means that you belong to a group of artists, a group of people who are working for the future. These are people who want Eden. These are people who want to grow their vegetables, do their meditations, and just return to paradise earth. That's your soul tribe. And they're willing to fight for it, because you have some fighters there too. And then you have some really cool people who are just trying to find some healing, right? So this leads to your last house, the 12th house. At the top of that, or let me say this, the 12th house is the house of things that can be your undoing if they aren't paid attention to, but it is also the house that holds all your past life karma. The things, or the parts of yourself that you agreed to give away in this life to clear the slate based upon your most recent incarnation. So for you, there's a little bit of a tendency to put yourself completely off or to overindulge sometimes, but that's a very small part of this. The main part of this is that your family was karmic. Several indicators of that here. I noticed that everything is in like triple, I was about to say triplicities, but fuck my word up. Triples. Triplicities is correct. So we got the Cancer rising, South Node in Cancer, and then Cancer moon in 12th, right? Your family was karmic, particularly on your mother's side. But while you're sleeping and when you're alone with yourself, you get messages from your twin, but also about things you're supposed to speak on, things you're about to write on. You are never not filled with inspiration that is meant to help you and help others. So when you wake up in the morning with advice for yourself, give it to other people. And you'll feel like a lot of times like, damn, this was for me, but it's for somebody else too. You are carrying the message for several people with what's going on here. Especially it's women. You're here to help women. So with that being said, you have your Chiron, which is the wound that you have that you're meant to overcome in order to help other people. It's surrounding your words, surrounding how unique you are, surrounding your unusual humor is what's coming up here. But the more you put aside that pain of other people not understanding you, which is what caused you to be so secretive with your stuff, you'll find out that there are more people for you. Like you have a huge soul tribe here. And at the end of that, we have family karma, once again, with this Cancer in 12, which means that there were some secret enemies in your family that was sort of keeping your light dimmed until it was time for you to fully shine as you needed to. And it could even be younger siblings with this case here. But in regards to what you could do for this energy being karmic, you are required to learn how to put up boundaries. Boundaries with you and how much energy you give out to others, but then also how much you take from other people. Because sometimes you volunteer yourself for stuff because you can sense their pain and they might not even ask you for help. So a lot of times you throw your energy down the drain because somebody you saw needed help didn't want to receive your help quite yet. So balancing out the messages that are coming to you versus what you feel instinctively, because like your mom, you want to help people all the time, will very much help you on this balance, especially in your marriage. If you're already married or if that's coming up, just keep this in mind. So thank you so much for this opportunity and your patience. I hope this blew your mind today.